Let's see what's under the desk. It's making it hard for me to move my stand. I want something on the desk hard to move my stand. Alright, there we go. Got a good shot in there. Get this out of the way. Really ought to have this thing plugged in. Honestly, which I don't. Alright, let's get to this. I got a bit of a busy day today. Decision on if we're going to be tailoring with customers or we're just going to strictly go business. So basically, first things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. My company is ILEG, Infusion Light Energy Gain Technology Screens. Where did she go to? She just stands right off the side of the screen. We are working on several major projects for our company. This is actually one of the screens we're working on right now. These screens are only 15% done. It's under our Sun Fusion Energy Gain technology, which is going to be available in 2026. Our company was blessed to get into a program that helps companies be able to expand and grow. Because I said before, I do want to do some business offline. I haven't done business offline. I've done some business offline, but not totally and completely offline, and that's where I want to head to. We're still going to be doing business online because companies will be buying the products that we'll be making off the site. So, praying, asking the Lord how to go about doing this and what should we do. I do want to sell to companies. I definitely want to sell to companies. But I do also, too, have a customer base that we do deal with some customers. So, and then on top of that, we got people out here in Allentown that can order directly from the website. And then on top of that, there's the showrooms. At least with that, the website you can buy 24/7. So what we're going to do is we're going to convert the Crystal Ridge site, which is now called ILEG Technology Screens Info, into B2B. We're going to open up the marketplace over there, convert that into companies that can come in and place orders through there. Mind you, you can't just access the site if you wanted to. That site is going to be under password protection, and the only people who have the password are going to be people doing business with. Now, say if your company at the end of the day and your actions are to basically violate that, there are going to be things put in place that violating, because again, we have people do some real dumb stuff. We have some people do really, really dumb stuff. But anyway, if you violate that, mind you, some of these violations can start off at $1 million and up. It's not even worth it. It's not worth going and doing something stupid or whatever. It's not worth it. You're going to have to show an EIN, business wholesale license, one of them. You're definitely going to have a business license in order to be able to buy from that particular site. So these are pretty much most likely going to be people we already know that we're doing business with. Anyone new that wants to access the site has to contact us first so that we can review them to see if they're able to be eligible to buy on that site for the B2B website, which will be under where the old Crystal Ridge was. That'll be converted. So, you know, your naysayers do some of the dumbest things I've ever seen. Trust me, I can write a book on it, on the dumb stuff you do. Literally, I'm planning to write a book on some of the dumb stuff you've done. I call Idiots of the Internet. Literally, it's perfect name for it. But anyway, they're going to be, on that site there, they're going to be just basically for B2B for them. Now, over here, on our other site that we use now, that site will be converted for customers, but there'll only be 2 options on the site. We're only going to expand, but so far, it'll be the cinematic technology, which you see in the thumbnail. That's the amazing black screen paint. And there will be a gunmetal technology also on the site. Now, before people get all high and mighty at the end of the day, because everybody thinks they know my business plans when you don't know jack to begin with, I have a lot of people I do business with in other states. Mind you, I have a projection screen in just about every place in the world. Because I've been here for a long time, I made a lot of product. So with that being said, I've gotten some customers to contact me and say, hey look, it's not fair. Why should we opt out? Because other people are idiots. And that's true. So, we're going to have 2 items for it. We're going to have the gunmetal, the new gunmetal version, and then we're going to have the cinematic, which again, the difference between what that's going to be sold on the other site is by size, because over there, we don't do quarts over there. They don't bother with that. They don't bother with quarts. They're into gallons, 5 gallons, 10 gallon, 20 gallon containers, because they're using it for a massive job. And on top of that, they get discounts and stuff like that, you know, it's company and contracts and stuff like that. So, we will have it available for customers and our outside customers, because like I said, the Aletonians, which I call it, called the Aletonians, they can come to the showroom and buy, or for those who can't go to the showroom and buy, you can actually get it from the website. Now, as for this technology here, we're not going to do a tile system. Tile systems were for companies. They're the ones I can see working with tile systems. We're going to have one screen at 106-inch screen, one wallpaper, one non-wallpaper, which means one will be flexible, one will be non-flexible. We're going to have one size for the flex screen, which is going to be the one we usually show off in some of our demonstrations, which I think it's 18 by 24. We'll have that size for the flex. It's a good size screen. It's fantastic. Not too big, not too small. So that one will be available on the site. And the 106-inch. 106-inch is roughly going to go for around $1,400. That's what they're going to go for. That'll be the transparent technology. We will have a black version of it. I'm going to write this stuff down. I need to write some of this stuff down. We got a black version of it. Black version. We got an all black one version. Black one versions go for $1,600. That's just one. We don't sell them as tile. It's an actual screen. Shipping on that, we don't pay for shipping. We'll pay for shipping on the paint. We'll pay for shipping on the flex. The flex is a much smaller screen, but the 106 inches we don't pay for shipping on those. All right, let me see. So we're gonna do 106 inches, and the other one's gonna be 106 at black. And what's going to be actually in the clear. Here it will be 1,395, and black will be 1,692. Alright, and this is the non-shipping. No shipping. Okie doke. Alright, so that's what we're going to go with that. Pretty much that's it. Like I said, our YouTube channel, as I said before, and I explained to it, it's not used for trying to get likes and all that stuff. We don't do that. We don't do it for views. It's strictly designed. If I won't go back to my old videos and watch my old videos and say, yeah, this is how you were doing it. It's strictly designed to show off the product, just like I'm doing right now. That's what it's designed for. Strictly show the product off. That's what it's used for. Mind you, we're going to be out there pretty soon. We got the program, we're in, we're locked in. Anything we need, they're going to help us out with. Marketing, advertisement, building placement, whatever we need, we're good. So I'm happy about that. I got a couple of loans coming in for the company. I allow us to buy equipment that we need for processing orders and stuff like that. I need to buy a forklift, stuff like that, for larger orders and stuff like that. So yeah, we're already being set up. And I'm already, this week, I'm going to be setting up my corporate banking accounts to get them ready, because I need that for the loan. So other than that, everything else is going well. Things are, next 2 weeks, they're going to be contacting us. I got to meet with them, and they got to see the technology. And that's why I'm not going to go into the whole thing anymore about saying, well, if our stuff didn't work, blah, 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 because we know our stuff works. You don't believe it? That's you. At the end of the day. All I know is that when they come down to see it, it has to work. And it does. Like I said, that's the reason why we got that into the program. The head director came down and saw it for his own eyes, because he said he had to see it for himself. And he came down and saw it. He was blown away by it. He was also intrigued by the cardboard PCs we're building over here, too. But yeah, he liked it. So, man, they're thinking about the possibilities, what they could do with it. He's like, man, we can put this in car. They got this coffee shop down here. That would look amazing in the window. They're already thinking about what to do with it before we even initiated what we're going to do with it. So, yeah, they're going to make a lot of revenue off this technology, a lot of money off of it. So, it's already mapped out, ready to go. God has already set the path for us. And we will be dealing with customers, but like I said, 2 different sites. One site does have a password on it. You can't access the site in any way whatsoever. Only people who have access to the password to the site are people we're doing business with. And those individuals have to go through a application process and review before we can actually see they're eligible for that technology. How did I make this? I made it. And that's what you're seeing right there. And like I said, the Flex, for all the gamers out there, that will be available, but Flexes will be in sizes of 18 by 24, which is a large surface. Again, we'll ship it out for free. Paint will ship out for free. The larger screens, we don't ship those out for free. I got to figure out how much it's going to cost for me to ship one of these screens. They're 106 inches. The wallpaper would pretty much be cheaper because the wallpaper flexes and roll that up. We might ship those for free. I think we ship the wallpaper for free. Because the wallpaper is really nothing. We can ship those. Once we roll those up, they're about 4 feet high. That's basically about it. It's the ones that are non-flex. Those are the ones that cost money to ship out. Because you can't afford it. No way to afford it. So we have 2 versions of that. We got one in ultra black, which basically is the one that when you set a gray screen against it, it alters and changes it. That's the ultra black version. Both of those screens are front and rear technology. Same thing you see with this. Same thing. And then we got this this other one coming out. I think we may do. We got the fluorescents coming out. We got those. We got a gunmetal transparent coming out. And we got this new technology, but we're still working on that. That's a crystal clear, like clearer than what you're seeing right now. You can literally see the PC crystal clear on the other end. It's another version of the Flex. Got that one coming out, and then we got the tanks, the fish tanks we're going to be doing. So that's going to be another one for the fish tanks. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff we got to work on. I'm having fun with this thing right here. I got 2 Pico projectors hooked up, 50 lumens, 300 lumens. Little dance battle going on my screen. Yeah, we're set up. We're basically in there. We're done. That's the one thing I needed. You know, I'll tell you something that's really crazy. That the individuals who try to make a lot of trouble for me, who try to call zoning on me, you know, that's how I found out about all this stuff in City Hall. You guys helped me, because I didn't know City Hall did all that stuff. You guys are the ones that actually helped me with that. That's why I said that at the end of the day, that the stuff y'all do with Satan at the end of the day, the Lord will turn around and take Satan's curse and turn it into a blessing for a Christian. So what they tried to do was, they tried to get the guy's building shut down. Yeah, he has all their information. We reached out to him. We gave him, and he knows where Fernando lives at. He knows where, actually all of them. We gave him all your addresses where you guys live at. Yeah, they didn't submit it out to other people. The Caring Place, the Smoke Lounge. Yeah, they know where you live at. So when they get ready, whatever they're going to do with any attorney, that's why they got more than one person coming after them. Anyone they contacted, we gave them their addresses. Yeah, because you want to do dumb stuff. So, you know, if you're going to contact people and carry on, guess what? I think they should know where you live at. But anyway, yeah, so they contacted zoning. And they were trying to get the guy's building shut down. They're making all these false lies and carrying on. By the way, they have your address too. But anyway, So with that being said, when he came down, right, he looked at the place and everything was fine. And he's always facetious and stuff. That's basically about it. And then the guy had to go down and get his building registered, which was good for him because it helped him out because he didn't know what to do. He's Dominican. He didn't know much about, he knew about business and making money, but the whole paperwork thing he didn't know much about. I know paperwork. I like that kind of stuff. So he was lucky to have me around. So I said, hey, let's go down and get it done. Went down to City Hall, went down and got his registration for his building. So his building is now registered as an apartment complex, got a zone for it. Real easy to do. He didn't know how to do it. I know how to do it easily because I'm in the paperwork. I do that kind of stuff anyway. But anyway, as I was going back and forth with zoning, I got to become good friends with the guy who does the zoning. Me and him became good friends. So I was coming in the office all the time and just getting information because I was just thinking like, okay, if I want to put I wanted to do a shipping container, and the shipping container, I wanted to put these big screens in like this, and I was going to charge companies to advertise using our technology. I thought that'd be fantastic. But what kind of zoning would be required for me to have this type of container? So I wanted to ask questions. And then I started getting a lot of their booklets, and I went online to their website and started reading this, and I became addicted to it, so boom, I learned it. So I know quite a bit about zoning. I learned at the end of the day that's how I'm able to get my customized garage, which they said you can't live in a garage, but there's nothing saying you can't have a house that's shaped like a garage. Loophole! I came and told the guy, he was like, wait a minute, wait. All right, it's a house. Yes, it's a house, but it's shaped like a garage, which technically it's like a garage, but it's a zone as a house. Yeah, I know how to find loopholes. I can find loopholes in anything. Any form of law, whatever, I can find the loopholes in it. I have a nick for it. I found loopholes. It's the same thing if you get a house that looks like a boot, or a house that's like a flying saucer. Technically, it's a house. It's the shape of the house that basically is not controlled by zoning. Zoning cannot control the shape of your house. Now, depends if you made your house something like of a body part, then this can be under the laws of indecent exposure, even though it's not clearly you're naked, but the house itself can get you in trouble. So it depends on what the house is going to look like also too. But if you want to look like a flying saucer, you can have the house built like a house, but the inside, how you decorate it, is not controlled by zoning, and the shape of it's not controlled by zoning. Ta-da! Loophole! I find loopholes in everything, man. That's one of the things I love about paperwork. I can find all those little areas, those gray areas they don't see. I see them. So when I came and told him about it, he was like, huh. Well, I guess you can. Yeah, I can. Because technically it's built like a house, but it's shaped like a garage. Loophole. I would have never knew about any of this stuff if you guys didn't call them. And then, me being curious about what do the other floors do, because that's how my brain's wired. Like, what's this floor do? What's this floor do? This is for licensing. So I was like, huh, you do licensing here too? So I went and applied for my business license, and that's how I got my business license. I went there and got my permits, and went there and got a vending license while I was in there. I said, I'm going to get a vending license while I'm here. I might as well pick one up. Got the paperwork, went all through it, boop, 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 filled it out. You guys helped me get all that. Because I didn't even know where to go. I didn't know what building to go to whatsoever, what floor. Going there to help him out because you guys tried to make trouble for him, and going and helping him getting his paperwork, I was like, what else can this building do? And I just went through the building. And I got to meet a lot of beautiful people in that building, a lot of people in that building. I became friends with a lot of people in there. And they helped me get other stuff that I needed to help me with my company. And that's how I found out about the program. And through there, I was able to contact someone, and I talked to the head director, and they met the head director, and the head director was here in the office checking out the screens. And guess who else knows the head director? The owner of this building. They know him. They know the building. So when they came down and saw it, I was like, man, that stuff is insane. Like, I've never seen anything before. He's talking to other people about our stuff. Thank you. You did us a big favor. So that's why I explained it in the day. You know, Satan will plot to do evil things. Hopefully, he hopes they land on us. He knows the evil stuff is going to land on you. He knows he's going to get you in trouble for this stuff. But he's hoping that maybe it'll hit. But it doesn't, because God sees it coming a mile away and going, okay, well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to 360 this. I'm going to allow this to happen to him so he can take this and turn this into a blessing. And that's what it did. That's how my company got all the funding and everything. Because of you guys, because I was searching all through Allentown trying to figure out what branch does all this, and I couldn't find it. See? Everything you tried backfired. You know, just built my company up. That's why you look at them right now, their companies don't exist anymore. The other one's website is completely gone. It's disconnected from which server altogether. It's not even there anymore. It's gone. So they don't sell it. They sell the domain name. Their site itself, they trash them. His site was dissolved. That's why it's not there anymore. The domain name is up for sale. Somebody most likely will buy it. Because somebody will buy it and they'll convert it. They'll take the name apart, strip it down, and convert it to what they want to do. That's pretty much it. So, resolved to nothing. So everything they tried, they went through all the effort, mind you, all the energy that they went through to try to destroy me, and look what happened to them. And look where I'm going now. Pretty soon I'm going to have a showroom. The whole purpose of what I was trying to do is to get mass advertising for the technology so people can come in and see it. And we got that now. We get a showroom, one showroom down there, and we're advertising this stuff 24/7 for people to come and see it. Do you have any idea how much business this is going to bring my company? They know they're going to make a lot of money off of us. And then I showed them that demonstration right there in the middle of the park with the fire pulling up, different areas where we're showing fireplaces pulling up all over Allentown. Yeah, open and shut contracts. Now the whole main question is, how high do we want to go? Yep, but you guys are responsible for that. So get yourself a pat on the back. You call yourself trying to give evil, and God turned out, took your evil and turned it to blessings for us. But He took that evil and He reflected it right back to you. So I'm going on His decision, what He wants me to do. I'm going to convert the 2 sites. I'm going to probably get ready to start building on the other sites. I have to transfer into there too. I got a buddy in there already working on stuff. So get that ready. And for the company, for that section for them, and then the other section will be for customers. So pick and choose we have here, and what pictures we have for there. Whew, man, I'm telling you, it's been a fantastic couple of weeks. I tell you right now, it was nothing. It's interesting how you can plan things out in life, and things just go totally different, completely different. I never knew we were going to be in this. I never knew that all this was going to happen. It's all new to me. I thought we would come in here, get the office, and I thought we would have to pay money out to go into different places to show off our screens. I never thought we'd have had a technology. We can go anywhere we want to Allentown. I never would have thought we would have had that kind of type of technology. That's all new to me. Every time I'm outside and I pull that camera on and that screen pulls up, that's all new to me. We never had technology do that. Mind you, when we showed off this technology, when we first showed it off, it took 4,200 lumens. And then we had to up it. We upped it to 5,200 lumens. That was in the window. Now we're outside at 50 to 300 lumens. Do you have any idea how crazy that sounds? To be outside at 300 lumens, at 50 lumens, and operate outside with no problem. That's a whole new different thing for me at the end of the day. But it happened because I sat there in the middle of the floor and I made that announcement to God in the world. I sat there and said, if I'm all these things, if I'm a rip-off, a scammer, if I'm all these things, may the Lord expose me and show me for who I am. Did I not make that statement? And what happened? Our business blew up. Every single door opened up for us. So I guess the Lord spoke. I guess the Lord made His announcement. And for those who basically sat there and made accusations against us, they crumbled. They don't have their businesses anymore. One abandoned his site's abandoned, his YouTube channel, has been on there for months. The other one's website completely went up, it's gone. That's what happened to them. And the rest are running. And the other one, who called himself being a businessman, in his apartment, screaming at a screen, showing half-naked pictures of himself. Does that sound like a person you would do business with? A person who stripped down to their underwear and it's going around sending half-naked pictures of himself all over the internet, yeah, that's not like the kind of person you would want to trust with your credit card and your information and where you live at. That's what you want to do. Yeah. No. So yeah, that's pretty much what it is right there. Everybody else, well, they're lying on their specification sheet. We know, because we can see them a mile away. Can't produce black on a gray screen. It's not going to happen. I don't know where you get that from. It's not going to happen. It'll cost you a lot of money. You still can't do it. Certified screens, they're better than those screens today by far. They're way better than those screens, but still, a lot of money. $7,000 for a screen that can't see black. That's kind of a little pricey right there. You can't take it outside, so that sucks. And you can't run them off ultra short throws. You get the special ones to run off ultra short throws, and they're more expensive than those because they're special because they run off ultra short throw. So yeah, they're expensive. They're very expensive. So yeah, there's that. So that's basically about it. That's all we had. That's our competition right there. Literally, that's what we had. That's our competition. Drew screen, tested them. They don't make a black paint. So yeah. Vox, I don't even think they're in business anymore, but I heard nothing from them in years. Paint on screens, tested their stuff already. They claim to have a black screen. Screens turn out to be gray, so they call it black gray. It's not even, but it doesn't even work. We tested it already. Smarter screens, been there, tested them, had them down there. The white levels are absolutely horrible. Angle gain is extremely poor. So no. That's it. That's pretty much what's left. And then there's us. And again, we have God backing us. So everything you have tried, pretty much, we got blessed. So soon, because I got my vendor's license, guess where I'm going to be at? Expos. Yeah, I'm in the expos with this technology. We're going to bring in a 150-inch screen of this technology in black. Put projectors behind it and do a whole entire show behind it. It's going to be sick on how we got it set up. It's on a track system. We have two screens in there. One is the clear one, which is the one you're seeing right now. And the other one is going to be the black. They change. One slides to the back, the other one slides up. It's advertising. The expo we're marketing is for companies using our technology for advertising tech. And then we have a demonstration, which I'm planning outside in direct sunlight, which shows them that we can operate in direct sunlight, which means they can put the screen anywhere they want it to go to bring their advertisements to life. So you're going to have a lot of people down at them tech shows. You got Apple, you got freaking Sony, you got Xbox, Microsoft. A lot of big techs, they come in to check out these shows to see how they can basically use their technology to advance what they do. We go to trade shows, expo. That's why I paid for the permits. That's why I paid for the vending license, because I can go to trade shows and I can show people I can advertise their products and make their products sell better. You're already in. Yep. Apple logo, screensaver. So I have a friend of mine who works in Apple. He works in Apple for advertising. He's been showing off our videos. They're interested. So I'm going to build me a screen today. A cardboard setup with the LED lights behind like we usually do. And I'm going to get that set. I'm leaving that one there. And I'm going to be setting it out with a Velcro system for the screen that is will do for display at 14 by 24. But I don't think too big, but small enough we can show it off. And we want to show this demonstration out outside. That's the best way to do it. We do the demonstration outside. Why? Because if we can show them we can do those demonstrations outside in that direct sunlight, that means if we can operate there, we can operate anywhere we want. The question is when you do a demonstration inside, how well can you operate outside? We eliminate that from doing the demonstration outside to begin with. See the future? There's a future right there. It allows companies to be able to advertise whatever they want. This is $1 billion technology. The advertising industry is $1 billion industry. Those tech expos that they have, there are companies that are coming from all over the world to be able to see who has technology to advance them. And we are the only ones who have a technology that can basically absorb sunlight at 50 to 300 lumens. That technology, what AdTech does, is way beyond some of the stuff we show you. It can do way beyond this. Way beyond this. Hologram capability, interactive technology. I have an Epson projector coming in with the interactive pens. We've got a coding that we're developing that allows you to be able to write and manipulate the screen even when they're see-through. So that technology, you draw on the screen, it'll do that. Drag and drop interactive technology allows you to be able to manipulate the screen through sensors. A buddy of mine is expert in that field. He can convert one of our screens to that technology. And it's going to be super affordable, which means instead of companies spending thousands and thousands of dollars for that technology, we're going to be the only ones selling it for a price that they can afford at a very easy level, which means the mom and pop stores that are starting out who can't get their hands on that technology because it's too expensive, they can get access to it. Makes it fair game. When I said leveling the playing field, not only with home theater, with everything. So even a mom and pop store can have the exact same technology that a high-end corporation can have now. Because shouldn't they get a fighting chance too? See? There you go. Keyboard right there. This, if it will go with me, whatever it's buried under, right over that cable wire. That tech has so many things it can do. It's unbelievable. You can intercross screens, all kinds of stuff. You can even lock screens side by side. You can interlock with each other, the whole 9 yards. She's dancing in fire. Why is she dancing in fire? Yeah, they don't affect each other. So they have, it's interesting how they're designed. Mine, this is a 15% technology. It's not even completely done yet. So we're still experimenting with it and what we can do with it. So that's why I bought in some equipment. I'm bringing in the Connect system, which is already running through that PC over there with software that allows me to manipulate where we want. There's a plate we're going to put on the table. So this whole thing I'm setting up here, the whole table is going to become fully interactive. I have an ultra short throw Epson projector coming in with the pens, everything we need to write on the table, what we want to do with it, drag and drop, slide things back and forth. So we're going to integrate that technology into the Connect system, which allows us to have a table to interact through hand motion and also to be able to write on it with my fingers or whether with the pens and all that cool stuff. Just to begin, that's why you think we expanded the table. That's why we're getting ready for it. Always, anytime you see me doing something like this, it means something big is coming we're working on. And this basically is fantastic for companies and offices. Like I said, I want to do that whole, there's kind of interactive nature pods for cubicles. So you're being stuck in a cubicle, you go inside your pod, you're all connected together, and you can actually change your environment. You can be basically in there working in the Alps, you can be working in Switzerland, your entire screen all around you, it's a screen, converts. That involves projector mapping and interactive technology. That's why I've been spending the money for all this stuff under my desk. Meanwhile, you guys are on YouTube fighting about screens stuck to walls. We're building the future. You're so far behind, it's not even funny how far behind you are. In order for you to have an invisible technology to work correctly, you have to be able to absorb sunlight. It's one of the things you're going to have to be able to conquer. Because because that's the one thing that's going to plague your screen outside on so many levels, it's not even funny. Because you're going to cost the consumer a lot of money. If they can't get the screen, let's say, to work outside, right? And I've seen it for people who basically have invisible technology outside. The problem you have is usually it'll darken the environment behind the back of the screen. They can't do that when you're outside. How are you going to accomplish that? So that's going to be a problem. So you're not doing that. Another problem you're going to have, what's it going to cost the consumer? And then you're going to tell the consumer it's an investment. They'll have to spend more money, but the consumer technically doesn't want to spend a lot more money. They're already spending the money for you. It's going to come with extras, then why would I even want to buy it? I'll just stay with what I had and save some money. It's been working anyway. That's what's going to process in their head. No matter how good you make it look, our stuff is still working. We really don't need to change. We don't need to spend any more money than we already have. But if you can show them they don't have to spend any more money, if they can do it for far less than what they have right now, you're going to make money. So bottom line is, because that technology can read through sunlight, that means that the consumer doesn't have to buy an awning to go around his building to block any sunlight that may basically discourage the screen. And awnings are expensive. You ever see, look at some of them things cost to do an entire awning system around a store? They cost a lot of money. And then on top of that, probably they're going to require high-powered projectors to get the screen to push through. That's expensive. High-powered projectors are bulky and huge. And we can do it on these little things. I got a window coming up that I'm going to rent. That's how much to do our 500 lumen display off of that little window. So we can show that all. As a building, I'm about to rent out their window. Show that all. I'm going to show demonstrations of how it operates. A storefront window. We need an actual storefront window, so I got a buddy of mine that's going to let me rent out his window. Easy to do is going and say, hey, look, here's $50. I need like 10 minutes in your window, or 30 minutes in your window. That's it. Only $50 in 30 minutes. So yeah, people will take the money in a hot second. All I got to do is go in there, tape it to the window, set the tripod up, hit the projector, make everything up, boom, right to the window at the other end. That's it. Then they come over and they ask me a bunch of questions like, what does this do? So and so. And I explain what it does, advertising, so and so and so. We'll be ready in 2026, so and so and so. Take out my business card, they click on it. That's it. How much does it cost? About $3,000 to put it in. No, not a problem. Let me know when you're ready. See, that's fast. That's how easy it is to sell it. So we're going to do it that way. Or another way we can do it is once we get our patents back, we go into the store, we basically pay them $50. Do the whole advertisement right there in the window for our advertise for us. Of course, they always come out and check out what we have. And we basically just drop them off a sample. And check it out for themselves. Mine, they can take the sample anywhere they want. They can take it home and watch movies off it because the screen is for on the go. You can take it anywhere you want. You can have a 106-inch sitting in your window, and you can sit there and go, well, you know, hey, look, I don't want to leave it in the window. I want to take it home. Then you take it home with you. Roll it up, put it in your sleeve that you take with, take it home, put it on your wall, watch a movie off of it. Take it in the backyard, watch a movie off of it. In the morning time, watch a movie and bring it back in here, and boom, there you go. Kids can game off it, the whole 9 yards, everything. It's going to be the ultimate advertisement technology. I got to get my 2 mics. I got 2 new mics I'm actually ordering. Everything's wireless. I got all wireless stuff coming in for this setup. So that's I want to get rid of all these cables we have up here. And we're going to replace everything with the new wireless system we're bringing in for the table. We can get that all ready. Alright, you are tangled. See, already the entanglements being caught up in everything. So this is why we have to make the table completely wireless. All the cables and stuff. You have to invest in all that, you know, that stuff over here. There we go. Definitely have to get rid of that keyboard. It's going to have to go. I need a wireless keyboard in here for that setup. And I'm going to finish out my PCs. So my PCs need to be finished. I need to put my LED system through here. That has a big LED system going through that one. You have to finish off. And this one over here. And that means now all this will be hooked up through here. That means I can game through here. And definitely that light here we have right there at the top where the fan's sitting up. That's not supposed to be there. It's supposed to be under the base. That's where it's supposed to be at. So basically I got some work to do on that one. That entire piece, you have to take the top half of it off, restructure the bottom because it's sinking a little bit. And I should have did a double instead of doing a single on that one, and restructure that one, which is easy to do. Put it all restructured, put it back together, and that way I can get a chance to put that thing underneath there where it's supposed to be at. I'm going to do my gaming off of this. This is a display screen. I have people coming into the office to see all this stuff. Because my office, again, as some people thought they were doing damage to me by basically advertising where my office was at. My office is on my website. It shows exactly where I'm at. It's on my business cards. It shows exactly where I'm at. It's on my Google page. It shows exactly where I'm at. It's everywhere showing exactly where I'm at. Even at City Hall, they all know exactly where I'm at. So why would I be bothered by one of you trolls showing my address off? How would that hurt me if I'm showing my address off everywhere I'm going? It's on my business card. Every time somebody clicks that business card, my address pops up. So why in the world would I be bothered by that? If you're going to advertise for me, thank you very much. And mind you, if you tell people at the end of the day that I'm a scammer, I'm a ripoff at the end of the day, you know they're going to come to the showroom, they're going to see that technology right there operating in all its glory. Guess what that labels you as? Jealousy. You're jealous. Because every time we get somebody who comes in and says, hey man, look, your stuff is incredible at the end of the day. I can see these guys are like super jealous. And they go back and they look at your stuff. Well, you don't have your stuff anymore. Well, that explains that right there. Open and shut. You don't have anything. So it clearly shows the jealousy. That shows like, I'm still standing better than I ever did. Still here. I watched that movie called, it's an old movie called Don't Look Up. Literally explained everything I said about meteors striking the earth. The reason why we're still here. I mean, God, technically it's not hard for it to happen, but the truth honestly. It really isn't. The reason why we're still here is because of God. That's why. It's nothing to do with science. It's God. You think how long we've been here and nothing's been destroyed already. Like I said, this was back in the medieval days. I mean, the odds of you hitting a castle were extremely rare because, you know, everything wasn't like populated like it is now. Now you got vast cities all over the earth. And the fact that when these things do crash into the earth, they only hit the desert, they hit out in the middle of the ocean, they never strike a city. If one did come in and strike, they're usually small, the size of a golf ball, a baseball, something small. Pierce to your roof, probably a car, but it's rare, super rare that would happen. And imagine all those billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of asteroids up there, floating out there in outer space and zooming back and forth. And not one of them has crashed into Earth. You know, if one of them were to hit the moon, you know how much damage it would cause to the Earth? If a global killer meteor smacked the Earth, smacked the moon, and threw it off this axle, do you have any idea the catastrophic damage that would cause the Earth? That's what happened in the thing called Conan the Barbarian. If you watch that by Hanna-Barbera, I think it is, the cartoon they had, how the Earth was destroyed. This huge meteor blew between the Earth and the moon, and it threw the moon off its axles, causing these catastrophic storms that erupted all over the Earth, and mankind was destroyed. Yep. And here we are on this rock, oblivious to what goes on out there. Of course, people that spend time in space all the time, they already know. But just oblivious on this planet, going back and forth with your everyday life, like little tiny ants, and not realizing that if one of those meteors up there would happen to set course to Earth, gone, just like that. You don't have the military might to take a meteor down. You just don't have it. It's not going to happen. You have nothing to stop something like that. What are you going to do? Fire a missile at it? Oh, yeah, good luck. And break it up into bigger pieces that'll come plummeting to the Earth. Same amount of speed, but much faster, because now they're smaller. So, no, that ain't going to work. So what do? Get a bunch of guys like the movie to land on top of it and detonate it? Yeah, that's not going to happen. We don't even have that type of technology. So how would you stop something like that from striking the Earth? Nothing. Ain't nothing you can do. Just sit there and take the hit. Just like I saw in that ending where they were sitting there eating at the table, their last meal. That's all they could do is just wait. Nothing you can do. The only one that can stop that is God. He's the only one that has that type of power. That shows man at the end of the day, no matter how rich or poor, whatever you are on this planet, you can be super rich, you can have an empire, you can have armies, you can think you actually have power in this world. And when something like that happens, you realize you have absolutely nothing. You're just dust in the wind. That's all you are. But it's frail as frail can be. Powerless. That's why we have storms, catastrophic storms that are unexplainable. Because it's God's way of telling you at the end of the day, this is my planet. This belongs to me. There's nothing you can do. You just hope you survive the impact. Yep, I saw that movie. I was like, sheesh. My goodness. Wiped the Earth out. You see that first one that hit, man? That was like a nuclear bomb. We don't even have weapons on the planet that can do that kind of damage. Insane. Now, some people are terrified of that. It scared the daylights out of them. Because, oh my God. To me, at the end of the day, I'm like, wow, God's amazing. That's power, man. That's unbelievable power. Any Christian on the planet, you think they fear that? No. They don't fear that. You know why? They don't fear death. They know where they're going to the next life. Since God basically leveled the playing field. He's tired of it. You know, just consider the fact you have 5 kids, right? You do everything. You work jobs and whatever, and give everything you can to your kids, and your kids do the most destructive stuff on the face of the planet. Every time you turn around, you go to school, either they're fighting, they're robbing, stealing, whatever they're doing, it's just the worst of worst stuff. And every time you come home, you punish them, and you punish them, and you punish them, and you punish them, and they never learn. They keep doing more and more stuff. You're thinking, oh my goodness, what the freak at the end of the day. Sometimes you wish they weren't yours. And some people get to that point, they wish they didn't have kids at all, period. They're just so bad. You get tired of it, and tired of it, and tired of it, and tired of it, and tired of it. Until they enter into society. And then society gets tired of it, and what's the society do? Society punishes them. By what? Locking them away. How do you think God feels at the end of the day when he leans over the side and looks at the earth and he goes, oh my goodness. You have got to be kidding me. This is what we're doing now. We're starving people, shooting people, murdering people, robbing people, stealing from people. This is what we're doing. Now he sees the good. He does see the good. But imagine seeing all that destruction going on. We're all brothers and sisters on this planet. You do know that, right? There isn't two gods. It's one God. So you know we're all brothers and sisters. And when he sees brother and sister murdering and killing each other, this is what makes him upset. Tired of it. So what God would say one day, you know what? I'm finished. Those who serve me, I'm going to bring them home, and the rest of you will be destroyed. Armageddon. There you go. Armageddon's not going to be caused by nuclear war. Armageddon's not going to be caused by floods, great floods that flood the earth, by basically the ice, what do you call it, Antarctic melting in the earth. That's not going to happen. It's not going to be caused by World War III or World War IV, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. No. You know how the world's going to end? Read Revelations in the Bible. Some people don't want to go near it because they don't want to face the fact that they're not saved yet, and they don't want to. This is why people are scared to read Revelations, because you're not saved yet, and you know this is going to happen to you, 100%. That's why you don't want to read it. If that's the case, then you need to get saved. If you're afraid to read Revelations because you are terrified that this is going to happen to you, you are going to suffer through that nightmare at the end of the day, then it means you need to get saved. But you don't want to get saved. You know why? Because you want to live the world out here. You want to live in this world. You want to party, drink, and carry on and have your fun. Most people say, well, I'm just going to party and drink and have my fun, and then when I'm done and old, then I'll get saved. But you might not have that time. Time is not promised to you. Your time on this earth is not promised to you. There's no promise you'll live to be 18. There's no promise you'll live to be 10. There's no promise you'll live to be 30. There's no promise on that. So you can make that stuff to yourself. Oh, I'm going to party, drink, carry on, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And one day, boom, have a car accident and be gone. And you go to hell, burn forever. And that fire forever. It never ends. Sassman says it, the worm will eat at your flesh, but the worm can't die. So, you really don't have the time you think you have here. You don't have that type of time. You really don't. Some people have shorter time. Some people have longer time on the earth. The earth's not going to be destroyed that way. That's why I don't get feared about nuclear weapons and whatever, blah, blah, blah. The guy who talked about, the Korean guy who talked about firing nukes and all that, did that ever happen? What about the Cuban Missile Crisis? Did that happen too? What about in the 80s, they talked about Russia and America as a big thing of nuclear war. Did that ever happen? None of that happened, right? All that talk, and none of that ever happened. You know why? Because it's not their world to destroy. It belongs to God. God already written in the book on how this world will be destroyed. Some people say, oh, but it says it'll be destroyed by fire. Don't misinterpret it and add things to the Bible that are not true. It says in the Bible, those who add things and take things away from the Bible, you curse yourself. It is what it is. What is written in that book is what it says is what's going to happen. It has nothing to do with nuclear warfare. It said fire. The world can be burned by fire. It didn't say that when you fire a rocket, a nuke, the world doesn't burn like the sun. Fires go out in nuclear war. This fire does not go out. This fire burns. So there's a difference between the two. And what's going to be walking among the earth is not human. Because it speaks of things, biblical creatures, that will be on this earth to torment man. We said about these scorpions, large scorpions have a face of a woman, they wear crowns. Do we have anything on the earth that's a giant scorpion with a face of a man or woman with a crown? Biblical creatures that were meant here to torment man. That in the 7-year period, or 7,000 years, something like that period, we go on honeymoon with the Lord, and those who are left on the earth, you're with revelations between the devil and all that stuff. So there's a lot of crazy stuff that goes. There's a lot of insane stuff that goes on there, but you need to read it. So if it terrifies you from the door, I don't want to read Revelations. Why do you want to read it? I don't want to think about it. I want to think about it. Why do you want to think about it? It scares you, doesn't it? It scares the living daylights out of you, doesn't it? You know why it scares you? Because you're not saved, that's why. If a Christian reads that, it doesn't bother him. It doesn't bother him or her. You know why? They're saved. That revelations, they educate themselves on that, yes, but it doesn't include them because they won't be here for it. Those that are not saved, that's for you. That's why you're terrified to read it. That's why it scares you. I didn't want to read Revelations when I wasn't saved. It scared the daylights out of me. I didn't want to think about it. I'd rather just direct my attention on the world. You know what I mean? Just live in my own world. I was just scared to go near it. But then realizing me putting my direction into the world is what's going to get me put into Revelations. I used to get saved because of that. She read Revelation, it terrified her. Daylight cycle got saved. Now, if you're getting saved also too because you're terrified of Revelations, then you need to understand the big part of why you should be getting saved. That's because Jesus Christ who died on the cross for you. That's why you should be getting saved. Because someone came here to make sure you can go to heaven, so that way you didn't have to go through Revelations. Big question before I leave off here today is, what are you doing with God's time today? You got blessed to wake up. If you're in here, that means you woke up. So what are you doing with God's time today? What are you planning to do with God's time that He gave to you? He allowed you to wake up, right? You woke up and you're brand new day, right? What are you doing with God's time today? What are you planning to do with it? You planning to do the devil's work today? Or are you going to plan to do God's work today? With the time that God gave you. Devil doesn't give you time. Devil wants to take time from you. Devil wants to kill you. Devil wants to bring your life, but wants to bring you death. So God gives you the blessing to be able to wake up in the morning to start a new day. What are you doing with God's time? You do know that you die off this earth. You pass off this earth and you see Jesus. You run toward Jesus and you go, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. And Jesus turns around and said, I don't know you. What did you do with my time when you were here on this earth? What did you do? You spent your time entertaining that one over there, the devil. Because that's the one you're running from. Why did you run to Jesus? You know, you're big, bad, tough guy. Why don't you run toward the devil and fight him? Oh, you don't want nothing to do with that thing. You want to run toward Jesus because you're terrified of that. You're scared to death of that. So you run toward Jesus. Because why? Jesus is the only one who can stop the devil. But yeah, you're out there serving the devil. You're out there doing all the things the devil wants you to do. Why don't you go over and have a conversation with him? But you don't want to be out. You're terrified of him. So the devil pops up right in your living room right now and says, hey, this is who I am. I've been having this conversation with you for a very long time. What would you do? You would freak out. You would jump through windows, doors, whatever you could to get away from it. Scream down the street like people thought you were losing your mind. Calling out God's name. But that's who you were listening to. That's who you were having conversations with. That's when it was telling you to go out and murder, kill, and do all the things you were doing. Now you don't want to talk to it? No, we don't be bothered with it now. See what it looks like. So you go call to Jesus. And Jesus is going to turn around and says, I don't know you. Who are you? What did you do with my time on that earth? Oh, you spent it entertaining that guy over there. Well, that's who you have to talk to him. Jesus will disappear. He won't, because he knows you. You and him are best friends. So, what are you doing with Jesus' time while you're on this earth? Every day you get up, that's a gift from God. And you sit there and say, God's not merciful? He's not merciful? So you go up, you're blessed to wake up that day. You go out, you commit a crime. The devil tells you to do something, you go commit a crime. On God's time, you go commit a crime. You go back to bed, you wake up the next day. You got another blessing. You're blessed to wake up that day. Even though the Lord saw what you did, you think no one else saw what you did. God watches you all day long. God watches you all day long. He watches everything you do, everything you think. He knows it. He knows what you're going to do before you're going to do it. You're worried about your neighbors seeing you. God sees you all day long. He can read everything that goes on your brain right now. He reads your very thoughts as you're in this room right now. So, He knows what you're going to go out and do. And He talks to you and say, don't do that. Don't do this. Don't. But we'll go right on and do it anyway. And then when you go to sleep that night, who's to say God is going to guarantee you another blessing the next day? Who's to say you're going to wake up? Can't protect yourself when you're asleep, can you? You don't even know what's sitting around you when you're asleep. What is sitting in your environment when you're asleep? Are there demons or are there angels? What's watching you at night? No, your house could collapse on you. Gas line could go up. Final destination all day long. And yet you're allowed to wake up the next day. A lot of things can go wrong in your sleep. The heart can give out. Anything can happen. Stop breathing. Anything. And yet you're blessed to wake up the next day. You have any idea? If you even knew the freaking psychotic stuff that probably goes on around you, probably be terrified to go to sleep. So the Lord protects you through all of that, whatever goes on at night. Because Satan knows you're not protected at night. You can't protect yourself. You can protect yourself either way without God. But I'm pretty sure he's walking up and down through your house. And the Lord protects you from all that. For you to get up the next day and spit in his face. Because that's what you do. That's what I did every day. Every single day I was in that neighborhood. I got up, Lord blessed me to get up, see another dude in the day, I go and commit a crime. Go to sleep again, get up the next day, commit a crime. Go to sleep again, get up again. That's like spitting in God's face every day. And he just wipes off his face and forgives you. And wipes off his face and forgives you. That's why when you become a Christian, you get saved and you realize how much God has loved you. When you were out there doing all that dumb stuff at the end of the day, you realize you can't pay back the debt. That's a huge debt. That's a lot to pay back. You can't pay back. Not in this body you won't. Your body's cursed. This is where pain comes in. The sorrow. The heartache. Someone gave up their life for you. Someone gave you endless forgiveness to go out and do the same dirt over and over again on their time. And then they forgave you enough to save you, to give you new life. Can't pay that back. No matter what you do, you can't pay it back. Until you leave off this earth and you get your celestial body, and then you can pay Jesus back 100%. And that's the best thing. That's the best thing for any Christian at the end of the day. To be able to serve the Lord 100% without being in this cursed body. Because every time you make a mistake in this body, it feels like someone takes a sword and they just stick it right through your chest, and you can just feel the weight of it tearing your flesh. And you want to try so badly not to mess up, but you will. And you'll ask the Lord for forgiveness, you'll be sorry for what you have done, and you'll do it again because your body's cursed. And you hate it. But also, too, you're happy because you are aware of the curses you are in this world. You're aware of what you were doing in this world. Better to be aware than not to be aware. Better to see than not be able to see. So at least now you know how cursed this world is. This is not a world for Christians. Christians are passing through. We see the destruction and hatred and anger of the world. We also see the beauty of the world. But this is the cursed world. It's not a world to build your paradise in. Heaven is where you build your paradise. That's why a Christian will tell you, this is not my world is in the next world. I'm just passing through. Because that's what we are, passing through. So, big question is, what are you doing with God's time today? That's the big question. What are you going to do with God's time? I'm going to start printing up my God Love You tracks. Ones that Fernando took for his own. Try to use that. I don't know why he tried to took some tracks I had on my page about telling him to smile, Jesus loves you, and he decided to turn into something evil because that's what the devil does. Written, all that is written in the book of life. You're only given that chance to be here because God allows you. The question is, what are you doing with this time? If you're spending your time trying to prosecute me and destroy me, it ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen to me. You know who I serve? I serve God. You serve the devil. Who's stronger, God or the devil? God is stronger. If the devil was stronger, we would all be here. We'd be dead. Definitely would have a meteor, but I slapped this planet a long time ago. It had fire, brimstone, all kinds of destruction you wouldn't even believe if the devil had all the power. Thank goodness God also has the power, right? So, we serve a Lord at the end of the day who has promised us everlasting salvation, who blesses our hands, who watches over us, protects us, keeps us safe from the one you serve. So that's why I sit there, and now when you guys do these evil things against us, you're serving the devil. And I just sit there and laugh about it because I know you can't harm me. Look at the example. What's going on right now? My company got blessed to have a major group of people to come in and help our business grow, to get where it needs to go, to get us in places where our company can expand. We got blessed with an advanced technology to absorb sunlight. You know, that's the ultimate ambient light right there. It's sun. We have the blessing to be able to now be able to do that. The invisible technology, everything we have is now upgraded way through the roof. Even our black technology looks absolutely incredible. And the Lord has opened up all doors for us to be able to grow. He's blessed my health. He's blessed my strength. Everything. I'm happy every day. I'm happy. And even on days where I may be a little depressed and saddened, I still am happy because I have the Lord knows the Lord has my back 100%. I got someone there for me to watch over me, to have my back 100%. You know what that feels like at the end of the day? To know that there's someone there for you every day that will never give up on you, will always have your back no matter what, will be there for you. That my enemies could not lay a hand on me. Even if they tried, even the devil himself couldn't touch me because I have Jesus. Can you say that? But you can't because you serve the devil. And that's why you're in the situation you're in now. And the situation could change. And it could change very easily. But you choose Satan because you're full of bitter and you're full of hatred. Because the more you see me rise, the more you see my Lord bless me, the more angry you become, full of hatred. And all you're doing is just digging a bigger ditch for yourself. That's all you're doing. You started off with a small shovel digging this hole in the ground. And every time Satan comes and says, here's a bigger shovel. Let me help you. Take this bigger shovel. You can dig faster with this one. They'll come back each time with a bigger shovel. Here you go. Here's another shovel. And the angels on the other side telling you, stop it. Reaching out my hand to you. Take it. Get out of the hole. But you ignored it. You're so full of hatred toward me. So you ignore it. Every time the angel puts his hand out, the devil throws you a shovel. A bigger shovel each time. Next thing you know, he's going to come back with a backhoe, and you're going to be really digging a hole for yourself. And you better look up. Hope that angel is still there waiting for you. There might not be. But the devil will be. And the difference in this one, the devil now has a shovel in his hand, and he's burying you in. And keep playing with that demon at the end of the day. I told you, at the end of the day, he only has plans. His plans is to kill you. You are no good, Satan, on this planet. On this planet, he runs the risk of losing you and seeing you get saved and finding God. And he can't lose his investment. He put a lot of time into you. And he does not plan to lose his investment, no matter what. So two things he's counting on. Either your time comes and you have to leave off this planet and he has you 100% guaranteed, lock and stock. Or he'll figure out a way to kill you here. The devil worshippers at the end of the day come, oh, the devil gave me power. That's that, blah, blah. The devil will give you no power. He'll give you nothing. He'll give you tricks. That's all. Anything to basically heighten your ego at the end of the day to make you think you have some power. He hates you. You know that. He hates you. He hates you. You know why? Because your image is made in the image of God. Man is made in the image of God, and the devil hates God. Therefore, he hates you. Can't stand you. Can't stand the way you look. Can't stand your face. Can't stand anything about you. He hates your guts. Because you resemble of God. That's what it says. Man was made in the image of God. And the devil hates God. So guess who else he hates? He hates you. Now you got them petty parents out there who have a son that looks exactly like the father. Get in the face. And they can't stand the kid. Like, it's not his fault at the end of the day, like, looking like his dad. But you met people like this, right? And they hate the kid. He looks just like his dad. I can't stand his dad. You ever heard those conversations before? It's not the kid's fault. At all, period. That sounds like your issue at the end of the day. But anyway, you heard that. But that's how the devil is. You're looking at you like, good gracious, look at him. I can't stand him. That's his creation. Did the devil make you? The devil didn't make you, right? God made you. So if God made you, that means the devil hates anything that God has made, which means he can't stand you, he hates your guts. I mean, this guy calls himself being the devil worshiper, sent me some 666. I said, what's that supposed to do to me? Well, what is it sending me the pentagraph and 666 supposed to do to me? Am I supposed to fear this? That's what I'm supposed to do? Oh, let me get this straight. So you serve the devil, who is the most stupidest whatever on the face of the planet, which means anyone who serves him, you're a freaking idiot. You know why you're an idiot? Because, let's put it this way. Say you're going to fight this fighter. And say this fighter has the ability to know what you're going to do before you're going to do it. Even before you even think it, he knows you're going to do it. What are the odds of winning a fight with that type of fighter? You can't win, right? Because he knows what you're going to do before you're going to do it. There's no way to get around this. There's no sneak attack. There's nothing there to beat or attack him, right? Because he already knows what you're going to do before you do it. So, how could you beat him? You can't. But here's Satan. Satan was God's right-hand angel, Lucifer. And he thought, seeing all the power, mind, you're right there, you're watching all the power of God, of what he can do. And you still got the idea in your head to think that you could take over God? Like, really? How dumb would you have to be to even think to have that thought? So then he turns around and gets a bunch of angels to support his campaign. We're going to overthrow God. And I guarantee we're going to win. Because I know everything about him at the end of the day to overpower him. Yeah, but that's the thing about it. God knows what you're going to do before you're going to do it. So how is that even going to work? You should have picked that up from the door. But he didn't. So he tries to overthrow God. And what happens? Of course, he gets thrown out of heaven. That's what happens. He gets tossed out of heaven. All the legion of angels who follow him, they get tossed out of heaven. They get thrown to the earth. There you go. So you serve a demon at the end of the day who was so stupid that they didn't realize that the supreme being would have known what he was going to do before he was going to even do it. Which means he didn't even have the thought process for it to kick. He knew what he was going to do before the thought process ever processed in his head. That doesn't sound like a person too smart, does it? Is that sound like a type of person that was a general and you would lead in the battle with? You would trust your life with a person who's going to battle an enemy that literally has the ability to know what you're going to do before you're going to do it? And you're like, oh, we can win this one, definitely. We definitely got this. We can definitely win it. Would you walk in the battle with something like that? No, I would not. You lost your mind at the end of the day. There's no way in the world fighting that. You got to be kidding me. Like, how are we going to beat something that nobody's going to do before it's going to do? We're going to block out your mind, go blank? That's not going to work. Blocking out your brain and blocking out your train of thought is not going to work because it knows what you're going to do even before you can think it. It's like it can see into the past, see into the future. So imagine having the ability to see the future and past at the exact same time. How do you beat something like that? You can't. It's impossible. So that's what you follow at the end of the day. Yeah, I sent back to him and said, find God. You're not scaring you over with that nonsense. At the end of the day, you curse yourself, I think. You curse yourself, and I know the destruction which is going to come before you. You read Revelations, that's where you're going to be at. You're going to be in the lake of fire, burning forever. Ooh, we got something that popped up on it. I didn't see this. We got a nice little cottage back there. This is pretty neat. I like that. I like the treehouse better though. I think I would choose the treehouse. The treehouse is pretty hot. A little ocean scenery going over there, but man, it's looking pretty cool. I like when we do the whole auto thing. This stuff pops up on here. It's pretty beautiful, man. And see, that's a nice little house right there. Man, they've got some fish in there. A little bridge over top of there. A little fishing. That'd be nice. A little fishing. And some baked fish and baked bread. Oh, man, that'd be amazing. All right, people. It's 9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock. It's time for me to go. Yeah, I'm getting me some God Love You tracks because I want to be giving up my tracks. And like I said, reason why I talk about Jesus, because there was one point I didn't talk about God at all, period. Reason why I talk about the Lord, I try not to be a lazy Christian. I try to warn people that God is coming. I try to warn people that you got to get close to Jesus. I tell people at the end of the day that every day you get up is a blessing from God. You think God didn't bless you? You woke up, didn't you? That's a blessing right there. Figure out what you're going to do with God's time at the end of the day. I know what I'm going to do with mine. But I'm talking about Jesus. What I'm going to do. Yep. Christians out there, get out there and talk about God. Talk about Jesus. Let the world know about what God's all about. Don't waste a day. Don't waste a day. All right, got to go, people. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you all for your time, and God bless. Do not waste a day.